and our ragtag crew is finding themselves in dire need of help as they struggle for air. Quickly, they have become a stumbling, well-oiled machine, scrambling to survive in this never-ending struggle. They have found themselves to be the ones in need, just as the Canterbury had answered a call. As our ragtag group is approached by their rescuers/executioners, Jim decides to upload a YouTube video in an interstellar network. Imagine the number of views. Whoa. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. He uploads this video that will dictate the group's future in what's foreseeable. Damn Earthers. We are privileged Earthers. There's such a thing as Earth privilege. Damn it. While out on the hull of their scavenged ship, Amos Burton reveals himself to be a slightly bipolar, unhinged, possible psychopath who could flip sides at the drop of a hat. That is very perfectly illustrated here and not to be ignored. Something that is definitely not to be ignored, something to recognize and remember. He has now become a wild card, as I am consistently reminded of how close the character development is to Game of Thrones. I do realize that so many of these characters could be interpreted as such, as a wild card or something else. But I think that that Amos Burton is the guy to be concerned about. So the only person who can rein him in is Naomi Nagata, and she is played by Dominique Tipper. Very great character, by the way. Really awesome. She is just compelling. She's the only one who reins him in. So if something happens to her, I could see him going absolutely ballistic, just nuts. Because he kind of, I don't know, it'll be interesting to find out. I wonder if they're going to reveal that. I wonder if they're going to actually tell us what happened there. Why is he so enthralled by her? Why is she so important to him? I wonder if they're going to even touch on that. There's probably more to that in the books, so forgive me for any of you who read the books, but I am curious to know why he is so enamored. His entire existence is his everyday decisions are dependent on her. I mean, he says that she always makes the right call, so it's like, okay, so she's also a human being, so does that mean she's at all prone to any sort of mistakes at all, ever? Shed Garvey is able to save Alex Kamal by connecting their breathers. As the entire crew is threatened by the hostility of the vacuum of space constantly, we can't help but feel how precious things like air, water, the basics that we as Earthers take for granted. Damn Earthers. We are privileged Earthers. There's such a thing as Earth privilege. Damn it. I wrote this late at night last night. Speaking of Earth privilege, enter Sadavir Ehrenreich. He reminds me a tiny bit of Burke from Aliens. So yeah, he was cool. Very interesting character. So I guess he's the head honcho, and I'm sure he'll probably be overthrown by Christian, probably. Now the difference between this and Game of Thrones is this. Game of Thrones has about 80 different sides, 80 different directions everything can go. There's like, but you know, by the end of like season 2 or season 3, you literally have about 30 different people who could potentially achieve acquiring the throne. So it's like you have that many people. And so, but with this, whereas in this show you have only about 3, Earth, Mars, and the Belt. Or maybe just Earth and these 2 belt stories. Maybe, I don't know. An interesting thing to find out. We will probably see other smaller factions bubble up, but for the most part, we just have these 3 sides so far. Christian complains of her plight in torture. She is determined to uncover the possible stealth weapon threat. She demands Mars to be put under a microscope. This is where we first learn of her suspicion that Mars and the Belt may actually form an alliance against Earth. if this happens, she is awfully frightened of what may happen. Jim continues to defend Ade's honor even after she is dead. Back on Ceres, Joe works an undercover operation to find gangsters who are siphoning water from the pipes. And our ragtag crew is finding themselves in dire need of help as they struggle for air. Quickly, they have become a stumbling, well-oiled machine, scrambling to survive in this never-ending struggle. They have found themselves to be the ones in need, just as the Canterbury had answered a call. Their recipient, a Martian ship, and they are worried that it might be the same ship that destroyed the Canterbury. Julie Mao wears a scar, a badge of defiance. That is what Joe Miller has assessed, at least. That's what he's assessed from looking on social media. This version of Instagram is. As our ragtag group is approached by their rescuers / executioners, Jim decides to upload a YouTube video in an interstellar network. Imagine the number of views. Whoa. I'm just kidding. He uploads this video that will dictate the group's future in what's foreseeable, giving details of who he is, where they are, and what has been happening. This was the right thing to do, as he has explained before. They were the only ones who knew what had happened to the Canterbury. We're all dead anyway, he says, and any such action will confirm that the Canterbury was destroyed by Mars. Their small sense of hope that this video might go viral is quickly snuffed out when they realize that the ship that had been approaching them was within jamming range. Remember the Kent! Remember the Kent! I couldn't help but be moved when Gia is teaching Dmitri Havelock, and he tells her to stay off the streets, and she says, maybe you too, Erta. At this particular moment, it seems a term of endearment. It became a term of endearment in that moment. It was actually a wonderful moment. Briefly, back at the police station, they are talking about the water rations, and the Canterbury being destroyed will evidently slow the water shipments to Ceres. Joe Miller illustrates the importance of the scapulae and how Julie Mao was on the ship. Our group has been taken violently into holding cells on a Martian cruiser. One of the biggest problems that Earth is undergoing at this point is that Mars needs an enema. Mars needs an enema. If Mars takes Ceres, then they won't need Earth's resources. This would enable Mars to become more independent of Earth, making them more susceptible to all-out war. Enter Lopez, played by Greg Burke. I absolutely love this character. His endless passion for loyalty and honor is priceless and admirable. He swallows a pill that immediately makes his pupil grow, narrowing his focus on the conversation. I wonder what kind of abilities it gives him, if anything more than just heightened senses. Hopefully X-ray vision, or just the ability to see untruths displayed on facial reactions or expressions. Anyway, just wanted to reach out and give my few cents on some of these earlier episodes, and I would like to do the entire series to get us prepared for The Expanse coming up for Season 4. What do you think? Are you psyched? Are you excited for The Expanse? I sure am. Let me know in the comments below, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening to this video. My name is Ben, and this is the Fanatics of Film. Have a fantastic day.